So this part now, Parasite made $165 million off global ticket sales since release in October. One belongs to US. So we have a chart for that, and this is the pie chart. Okay, so I want to emphasize pie chart. In order to get this pie chart, you put in the numbers, and then basically you go to pie, and then you press pie, you click on pie, and then you'll have this, and then you can arrange the coloring through here. So what you're gonna do is that you're gonna select this, Command C, and then we are going to go to Photoshop, then you're gonna paste it. You make a 920 by 1080, you press create, okay, and this is the size, and then you Command V for paste. You enlarge it, you press return or enter, okay. Then in order for you to work on this, you need, now you're gonna color this. So I already kind of chose my color previously, so I'm just gonna use these 3 colors. So the colors are basically these 3 colors. So, and then in order to extract this out, you click on this tool called the Magic Wand tool. You select it, copy, paste. Perfect. Again, next part, copy, paste, perfect. Next one, copy, paste. And then at this point, you don't even need this one anymore. You delete it, and you have your pie chart. So you're going to save this as pie chart on PSD. And now you go to your After Effects, which already has all these lines. You have to go to, so this is my line graph. Sorry, I worked backwards on this, but this is my line graph. And now we're going to do a new folder where this is a pie chart. So with the line graph that I just did, you can basically repeat the exact same thing with the line graph and the pie chart showed you. Just being able to take out the different sections from Photoshop and then putting it into After Effects, and then using the mask tool that you see in the line graph. So if you actually have a bar chart that you wanted to show instead of a line graph or a pie chart, the steps are very similar to the both of them. Basically, like a pie chart, you take sections after you copy your Excel sheet, your Excel graph onto Photoshop, and then you save it as PSD. So once you have those individual elements, you would import it into After Effects, and then like the line graph, like I showed you, you are then able to mask different parts and allow it to appear whenever you want it to. So this the idea and methods for you to make an animated bar chart is pretty much the exact same as the line graph, just using a lot of mask. So anyways, so now we're going to do the pie chart. I'm going to enter it, and then I'm going to do new composition. So how long do I need to have it? I'm going to have it, hold on, this is from 23 seconds.
It's released in October. 1/5 belongs to the US.
So 32, so 23 to 32 to 33, so it's around 10 seconds. So I'm gonna do 10 seconds, 10 seconds, that's my length, okay? Put this in the pie chart. And in the pie chart, I'm going to import my PSD file, which is called pie chart. Make it editable. Yep, and there you go. So then now you drag this over. Nope, that's not what I do. So now you have all these files, okay? And you drag these files over. You're going to delete the first one. So this is the file you delete. Okay. And then this will now show. Oh, so now you have to readjust everything again. So this is the bottom. This is the top. This is the bottom. This is the top. I wonder. Actually, you don't have to do that. You don't have to readjust anything. What you can do is just when you import it, you will have a comp here called pie chart image, and you can just take these 3 files and work off that, like so. Okay. So actually, once you import it, you don't even need to make a comp. You can just click on pie chart image, and then you already have it. So this is your thing. So I'm gonna actually write in the percentage here. So I am going to South Korea here. Rest of the world. So rest of the world is actually this one. Okay. So South Korea is actually here. Rest of the world is here. So I'm going to make this white. So I'm going to do what I did with my mask again and make them come out from top to bottom. So South Korea, I'll put this layer down, rename SK mask. I'm gonna put my my alpha matte on SK mask, and then I'm going to do position on the mask. I show up here, and this time instead of going up, I'm gonna go bottom, so it's gonna be like this. So if you want something to go from top to bottom, so the text are going from the bottom here and then it pops up, instead of doing it on the mask, you can do it on your text. So now I'm going to do the text right here. So position this P. You see what I just did there? So I'm gonna do it again. So let's say you can not only can you do position and mask it, you can just leave your leave your mask on there and then change the object instead of the mask. Meaning, if I want Korea, South Korea, to show up from the text showing from bottom to top, instead of changing the mask for position, I can change the actual text itself. So then I can press position here. Here's my keyframe. I go here, and then now I'm switching it to the bottom. You see this? Okay. And you do the same for all of them. So, because you want this to be all uniform. So on one of the other ones you've done, you click on it, you go to your previous keyframe, and then on here, P, position, you go back to the original start of the keyframe, and then you do this. So then what it ends up looking like is this. So everything is uniform and rise together. Okay, so this is the text. Pre-comps are your friends to make it organized. This is labels of country labels. Now, how do you make it so the circle turns? There's many ways of doing it, okay? So you're gonna learn in After Effects that what I'm teaching you is basically what works for me and the easiest for me, but it doesn't necessarily mean everybody else does it that way. So the way I do it is what I think is the easiest for me to do it and the easiest way to teach you. As you learn more advanced ways of After Effects, you're gonna learn that there are many other ways of doing the same thing. So whatever I teach you, it just works for this class, but obviously feel free to look through other tutorials and learn from them. So for me, if I just want a simple mask that's a circle, that completes a circle, there's something called radical wipe. So before we get there, we are going to do a rectangle tool again, like a mask, and then we're gonna just have a square like so, okay? And then we are going to use this radical wipe from transition, this one. You're going to put it onto the shape layer. And now if you start from this completion, you can see this is how it works, right? So now your whole point is to get it to transition. So before we do that, let's start with 100. Make sure your anchor point, it's in the middle of the circle because that's very important. Okay? And then, because and before you do all of this, make sure your 3 circle layers are all comped. So this is your pie pieces. Okay? And then what you do is that like a track matte, you go alpha matte. So now you don't see anything, correct? It is because the completion is 0. So what you do is the exact opposite. You start your transition here. So this is your time. And then you're gonna go back to the beginning. So if you go down to the radical wipe in effects, you just have to press down this. So your transition completion, we're gonna start with 0 because we're doing matte, which we're doing the exact opposite, okay? So it'll be 0, but then we go to the beginning and we go 100. And then we go ease in and ease out. Okay, and then you can show your labels just here. So the reason why labels not showing is because your layers are underneath it, so make sure you just put your layers back up. Yep, and this is that chart. Now, always remember to source your stuff. So I got mine from Box Office Mojo. So source So I'll make this 50. Make this 50. To make it less complicated, I'm just gonna let it appear like with opacity. Okay, so voila.
Parasite made $165 million of global ticket sales since its release in October. 1/5 belongs to the US.
Now for our next part. So I basically put this part in so I can teach you how to make maps. As I reminded you from last class, the Noun project is perfect for icons. So all I searched for was world map. And then I can pick any world map I want. Let's do this one. Get this icon. I'm going to do a basic download. And I have to attribute the creator for this icon, which is this person. So make sure you attribute this person. I'm going to download this in a. So I normally would download this in a SVG because I can get in the biggest file possible. So an SVG file, basically it uses something called Illustrator to open it. So I'm going to go to my downloads. Yeah, so it defaults to Illustrator. You don't really need to learn how to use Illustrator. You just have to open it. In the meantime, you make a brand new document that is again 1920 by 1080. Okay. And you really don't need to learn how to use this. All right. So basically you just have to take everything that you see, copy, go to Photoshop, paste it as a pixel, and then it'll fit exactly as 1080. Okay. There's a bucket tool, and then you can literally just highlight. I am going to now turn this white instead. So first, you create a composition. Now let's listen in on how many seconds we need from the map. 7 seconds. So it's not a long time map, okay? So it's quite quick. So once you put this in maps, this is 7 seconds long. So let's make it 8. You are going to import that file, which is the map, and you're going to drag it in. I want to show these specific parts: Cannes, France, Beverly Hills, LA, and London. So how am I going to do that? So first I'm going to get another icon. I decide I'm going to use a Oscar award icon. So they're going to give me an Oscar. This looks pretty good. I'm going to use this one. That looks pretty good. I'll do the coloring later, but I'm gonna get this icon. Basic download. And then I'm gonna save this as a PNG because I don't need that to be too big of a file. I'm gonna crop this. You can remember to source everyone later. The bottom of this Oscar is black, so we have to keep that to make it legit. So it's the bottom of this. So I am going to cut. So I'm just gonna color all this. So now my Oscar can be a little smaller, like so. I'm going to show where the locations of these award ceremonies are just through my Oscars. So first I need to make sure they are correct places. So maps. So first thing I want to show is Beverly Hills, California. So in the scale of this world, where is it? In the scale of this world, it's right here, so it's lower. So I'm going to put my guy right here. Okay? And I'm going to change my anchor point, which is, remember, this button, Y, to below. There's a reason for that, because I'm going to use scale eventually to pop up. So, okay. And then I'm going to copy, paste. I'm going to copy this and then paste for my second Oscar. And that is also in California, so I'm going to go side by side. Because, yeah, LA and California is pretty much right there. The other one is Cannes, France. So I'm going to give all of my Oscars a little bit of a shadow. So I'm going to add shadow through effects and presets. So shadow, so drop shadow, I'm going to put it in all of them. And then you can find your drop shadow here. Can you see it a little bit? So you can change the direction a little bit. Change direction here. I like it, and then I'm going to then paste it. So if you want to make every one of them have the same drop shadow, after you copy your effect for drop shadow, which is Command C, you go to each of them and you just paste it. Here's another one, here's another one, and there's another one. So now you can see it. Okay, so here are my 4 locations. So how I want this map to appear, I actually just want to scale. So how that's going to work is I'm going to put the scale for this map as 100, and then I'm going to go 0. Looks pretty good. And probably even do a little bounce like I did before with my chart. So I go back to my After Effects expressions. I go scale. I do option, and voila. And then I'm going to do it for the same thing for all these. Because 7 seconds, right? So I'm going to do the same thing for scale as well. But I am going to be different each time. So I think he wanted, so I'm going to do one at a time, pop one at a time. I'm going to do this Oscar first. So this Oscar, I'm going to go scale, and then 0. Okay. And then I'm going to do the bounce. And then they're each going to have it. So I want this to not come up the exact same time. You can also going to just do position for left and right. Like that. And then I'm going to make this take longer. So this is what it's going to look like. So instead of Oscars, you may have also seen people doing this. Map, points, location. So people have also used this as well, like this specific type of locator to point to a location as well, which you can do, and you do the exact same way. Just make sure that your anchor is at the point where you want it to pop up, and I normally do it at the bottom, so it could be replaced with anything else. So, but this is how you do a really simple map. So I'm done with my map.
The South Korean tale of the have-nots outsmarting the haves also won many international prestigious awards.
So, because we do not have a Skype interview, we will just use this one part of his interview.
듀어링스키는 스크린라이팅.
He is
So problem is that in After Effects, it's best if you already export the part that you need. So we are now going to go back to the point that I need from him to talk about from 3:30 on, and I want to export that specific part, okay? And 6. Okay. So this is the section we want. So now we create another new confirm selection. So this actually just highlights the whole thing I want. Because this is not the best resolution, we're going to lower it. And most of our Skypes are probably going to be the same way. Okay? So you're going to do this. And then, just like, I remember you have to subtitle everything. So I am actually going to subtitle this first. So I'm going to click, I'm going to do a circle. Make sure the circle fits this part as well. I think it's okay. And then I'm going to do my favorite track matte. So in this shot, I need a little bigger. So, but for here, what you can also do is you can show this. Your fill can be nothing. Your stroke. So if you want no fill, you click on the fill, none, and then there you go. So now it's in the hole.
우리 주변에 실제
So then you can now put all these pre-comp it, your favorite thing, Skype interview,
있는 사람들을 묘사한
and then you can move this around. Just like you can move this around. And then you have to name this guy. So I can easily name him now as Bong Joon-ho. You can make it move so
사실 우리
Pretty cool, right? Put up together. Recomp. Lower third. So there's something here that's pretty cool that uses sparsely though. Effects and gallery. There's a place here called text. No, that's not it. Called animation presets. And there's text. And if you use this carefully, you can put some pretty cool animations in here. So example, I can do fade. I really like to do slow fade on. That's probably my favorite. And then I just put it, I just make sure wherever you're pointing at, that's where it actually will say put in. So just put fade on. And then you'll get this.
묘사한다는 느낌으로 접근해서 그런 것 같아요. 사실 우리 주변에
Pretty cool, right? And then you can fade out, animate out, and you can slow fade out. And then you can also adjust to how fast something fades just by clicking through. So you can do this. This is pretty fast. You can do this.
사람들을 묘사한다는 느낌으로 접근해서 그런 거.
So you can then copy these two for the next ones. Although this will be a bit different because it's a different length in a text, so you probably have to go fix the endpoint to make it disappear faster.
악당은 아니고 또 착하게 더 우리 주변에 실제 내 주변에 실제 있는 사람들을 묘사한다는 느낌으로 접근해서
그런 것 같아요. 사실 우리 주변에 실제 제 인물들 생기는 것.
What you can also do is actually add a wavelength. So this is pretty extra, but I will teach it to you here just in case you want it. So let's say you only have an audio interview and you don't have a Skype interview, or you want to make some cuts and so you have to put on your audio interview. So first of all, we pre-compose. This is the text. I'm gonna make this a little higher and this way. So if you want to do text, okay, first you need to make a new solid, okay, and then you have something called audio spectrum. You drag this over, okay, and then now your audio layer is your Skype interview. You see this? So first you put your audio layer into Skype interview. Now before I do anything, I just want to watch you.
실제
See how this moves?
내 주변에 실제 있는 사람들을 묘사한다는 느낌으로 접근해서.
Okay. So I want to actually lower this down and then put all of this up a bit here. And then now you can actually play around with it. So maybe for colors, the peachy color. See how that works. And then you can actually change the thickness of it. So here is the thickness. Frequency, weight. So you make this higher.
그런 것 같아요. 사실 우리 주변에 실제
인물들 생각해보면
See these waves? But then you can adjust it. So my maximum height, instead of being, so I'm gonna make it like here.
친구건 친척이건 뭐건 뭐 적당히
나쁘고.
And then I want my end frequency to start earlier.
또 그렇다고
완전히 악당 아니고 또 착하게 커.
And then I want my start frequency to be earlier too. So you can just mess around with it to make
주변에
it look more filled.
내 주변에 실제 있는
사람들을 묘사한다는 느낌으로 접근.
And that's how you do a frequent a audio wavelength. So my idea is to actually just leave it as this. I'm going to extend this interview through composition settings to 50 seconds. Why did I do this? So now they're all gone. I basically need this Skype interview to last a little longer. So to do this, I want to take a picture. So what I need to do actually is that I'm gonna have to take a frame of this one, put it onto my desktop. Okay, so because I actually want to extend this specific shot, I'm gonna put this on my desktop like this. I'll replace my footage with my file. Okay, everything's all good now. So that means with my Skype interview, okay, I'm gonna do right click composition settings. Oh, I can fix it through here. 50 seconds. Okay, so now if you right click on Skype interview, composition settings, you can fix it through here and extend it. So now I'm extending this shot. You see this?
보려고 하거든요.
So you can actually show all the stuff again, it's fine. So it's around 15 seconds long. Okay. So now you have to make sure this is 15 seconds long, which I think is. So this man is Bong Joon-ho. So I'm gonna make this name last longer then. Composition settings, I'll make this into 50 seconds. And we'll extend this long. So this man is Bong Joon-ho. So this man is Bong Joon-ho, the man behind also along Best Picture. So now I can use my Oscar stuff again. So I'm going to go back to my Oscar. And then from my Oscar and my map, I'm going to copy the effects for that one so it's consistent. I'll make it a little soft. Pretty good, pretty good. My scale is going to be a little bit smaller. Except one's going to go up. And then the other one's going to go down. And, okay. So now I'm going to show the Oscars. Oscar 1. I'm going to do a list. So what I'm also going to do is I want to make a white box like so. I'm going to have text over it. So this is Best Picture. Let's be over this box. And I'm going to go scroll through it. So it's going to list it. So Best Picture, Best International Film, Best Original Screenplay. So I'm going to do P. Position. So I'm going to go through here, go up. And then this is going to get complicated now. So every time I need it to stop, I'm just going to take another keyframe. So in between these two keyframes, nothing happens. But then I want something else happens after that. So then I'm going to keep going. Best director. So it's like rolling credits. And then another stop. And then it goes again. Best international film. Best picture. So then now I'm going to have this pop up. Scale. So when this is going on. So yeah, there's like multiple things going on. So I want to work on this text. So, and then now I'm going to work on the icons that pops up. And I'm going to make it pop up like with a little bounce. So remember, caption, scale. Like so. And then so then I'm going to make sure it continues for this one. Oh. Oh, the image is gone. Okay, so what that means is everything needs to be a little bit faster.
실제 있는 사람들을 묘사한다는 느낌으로 접근해서 그런 것 같아요. 사실 우리 주변에 실제 인물들 생각해 보면 친구건 친척이건 누건 뭐 적당히 나쁘고 또 그렇다고 뭐 완전히 악당은 아니고 또 착하기도 하고 그러잖아요. 애매한 어떤 그레이 존에 있죠. 그런 느낌을 사실 영화에 담아 보려고 하거든요.
This man is Bong Joon-ho, the director behind Parasite. Along with Best Picture, he also won Best Director, Best International Film, and Best Original Screenplay at the Academy Awards.